Alright everyone, right now you are looking at another reading lesson skill, and this is the second reading skill lesson that we have talked about some of the basic skill that will help you to do your readings. So in the previous video lesson, you have already learned the basic foundations of skimming and scanning. So in this video today, we are going to recap what are skimming and what are scanning skills, and followed by some of the practice that you will need to apply the skimming and scanning skill in a type of formal reading exercise that you will see in this video. So without any further ado, let's get started to our lessons. So the question that I would like to ask is, what skill to use when you are asked to do this type of exercise? So look quickly at the block of the text. Find the word, okay, this word, which is, I tried to search on the dictionary and there's no meaning for it. Maybe it's just for the practice. And the other word, which is desertification. So desertification, which means it makes the place to become the desert, and underline them, then answer the questions below. So there will be some question, but I would like you to focus on these two important words and then try to find those words in this block of text right here. So as you can see, we can easily find this first one, SAHEL, right here, and the word desertifications, can you find it? Okay, right here. So here is the skill that you use in order to find the information in the reading passage. So what is the skill that you need to use in order to do that? Is it skimming or is that scanning? Clearly it is the scanning, because you need to look for detailed specific information. So let's look at this example right here. We have two words. So here are some questions to reflect on the skill that you need to use. So the first question, why can you see the word, this word, yeah, such as easily? So there are a few reasons. So the first one, because it is a large word. Is it a large word? Not really. Because it is in the middle of the text? Yes. Because it has a capital letter? Yes. Because you don't have to look for the meaning. Right. Based on my opinion, I think it's easier to find this word. There are two reasons. The first one, it has a capital letter, so you can easily spot it. And the last one, you don't care about the meaning of the words, just go through and find the words. So these two reasons, maybe they are the reason that this first word can be easily found in the text. So in the reading passage, right, you need to look for specific words, so make sure they are special. For example, the word written in capital letter or not, is it a long vocabulary or not? So pay attention to those aspects. And the last one, can you see the word desertification as easily? Why and why not? So based on my opinion, I think this second word, desertification, can be a little bit difficult to find in the passage, because first of all, it is a long word. It has more than 10 letters in the word, so it is a little bit hard to find that word. And second one, maybe we first think about its definitions. To find this word, you need to know the definitions of this word, and then you try to find it on the text, because maybe the meaning can interfere how you find the word in the text. When you understand the meaning, you will try to read for specific context that has those meaning related to the word you are finding. So it can be a little bit tricky. Alright, so here are the techniques for you to improve your scanning skill. And for those techniques, you can use all of those, or you can pick up one that is really beneficial for you. But these are just the techniques that you can apply in our scanning skill to do some of the exercise. So first technique is to look only for specific words or phrases. So it can be very helpful to find some specific information by looking at only the keywords. And B, look for each word or phrase in turns, which means you need to look at it again and again and try to find the meanings, try to find the context of those words. And let us see, look at every word in the text. And I'm not strongly suggest letter C as a good technique because you may spend a lot of times looking at one words at a time. And letter D, try not to think of the meaning as you scan. This one, I kind of agree with the techniques because if you think too much about the meanings, it can interfere how you read the text. So if you need only to find specific keyword, use your eye and look through it quickly to find that word. Don't care about the meanings. And letter E, use a pencil to guide you. Yes, it can be a very effective technique if you start your readings or you are a beginner reader, but for your level, I think your eye is good enough. Letter F, underline the word that when you find it. So this is very helpful. You need to underline the word in case when you are doing a final exam through a paper-based test. Sure, you need to underline the word or the keyword that you found because it can easily go back or refer to those words in the future. And the last one, think of the meaning of the word you are looking for. Right? I'm not suggesting this technique. It is the last resort. If you cannot find or you think it's a long text and you cannot find the word faster because they are for example, let's say 5 paragraphs which has 1,000 words. So it's may a waste of time to randomly look at each paragraph. And in this case, the meaning of the vocabularies or the meaning of the keyword is very important because you can go to specific paragraph that has those main idea according to the meaning of the keyword. So it's depends whether you should care about the meaning or not. It's depending on how long the reading exercise is. So another technique, which is how you scan for the information. So here there are 5 pictures represent the techniques that you scan the text. So picture A, which means you scan the text from the bottom right, and up to the left of the paragraph, which is not very practical because when you read from right to left or left to right. Sure, we read from left to right like this. So when you do a scanning, this technique is not suggested, which means you scan the bottom right to left, then left to right. No, not this one. Okay, here letter D is number 1. You scan vertically from the bottom to the top. Oh no, sorry, this is not correct. Look at the sign of a diagonal line, which is, let me find this one. Scan from the bottom to left, then left to right. So this one is, let us number 3, scan from the bottom, move right to left, left to right. So here, and scan vertically from the bottom to the top. Look at the side of the line. Okay, I think from the bottom to the top. Let's see. Scan from the bottom right to the top left. Okay, so it's the correct one. Sure, it's a little bit messy, but okay. The main point I would like you to pay attention to is that how or where you start your scanning. So it is very easy when you do the scanning. Scan from left to right quickly. Okay, just look at the line quickly. Don't just messing around with it. Just one line at a time, but quickly. So just look at the word in the paragraph very quickly. So from left to right. So this is very simple technique, but it takes time and you need to pay attention to specific word and don't stick with any specific point. Just go through it until you find what you want, because you don't waste a lot of time doing this. So after you see some of the techniques on how to scan and what to expect when you do the scanning, I would like to show you one of the exercise, reading exercise actually, that you will need to use the scanning techniques to do those exercise. So here are these exercise. So as you can see here, everyone, I would like to zoom in. So this is the reading passage. This is not only the introduction of this reading passage, because there are more reading passage exercise right here. So here the reading are very long, right? Nearly 120 lines, which suggests that it must be around 5 to 800 words. So if you see this type of long exercise, you cannot spend time reading all of this. That is why you need to use the scanning techniques to answer some of this question. So the question that you are expected to see here, they have the true, false or not given statement. So in this type of exercise, we have the techniques for you to use when you see this type of exercise. So when you are asked to do the true, false or not given type of exercise, first of all, look for words in each statement to help you scan, which means the keyword. And identify comparison or qualifying expression in the statement. So look at the comparisons or the qualifying expression. For example, let's say very, absolutely, so on and so forth. And let us number three, try to predict some answer. Okay. Last but not least, find your scanned word in the text, then read around them closely to locate the answer. Remember that the answer follows the order of the reading passage. Okay, this is very useful information to keep in mind. If you read the introduction, you are supposed to find the answer to the statement number one. It's the order. Okay, so these are about the techniques that you can use to do true, false or not given type of exercise. Another type of exercise is to complete the summaries. So to complete the summary, there are techniques, 4 steps. So first, remember that the answer follows order of the passage. 2, note the word limit for each gap. In this case, as you can see, choose no more than 2 words. So you can only use 1 or 2 words to complete in this gap. And where the word that you can find in the reading passage. Let us number 3, look for word in each sentence to help you scan. Here, as example, in the past, the destination of the swallow in autumn was up. So the keywords supposed to be, the keyword supposed to be the destination and the autumns, right? Last but not least, find your scanned word in the text. Think of the part of the sentence the answer might be in, the beginning or the end. Then read around them to locate the answer. Note in the sentences for completion, up before the gap, singular countable noun or no article, it suggests a plural or uncountable nouns. So make sure, for example here, you can say this is the gap that need noun to complete right here because it has the article up. So the noun should be a singular nouns. Last but not least is this type of exercise, which is so which 2 of the following danger faced by swallow during migration are mentioned in the text. So all of these are the keywords. So just find the exact 2 information on the reading passage. Those 2 information are the answer. So everyone, that's it for the scanning techniques. Now let's move on to our another technique, which is skimming. Okay, so skimming should be very short one, but to understand the concept of skimming, first of all, I would like you to look at the title of this reading passage, The Greatest of Victorian Engineers. And this is the title. When you read the title, you have some idea about what is going on in this reading passage. And let's look at the vocabulary in the box here. What vocabulary that's supposed to be appear or might be in the reading passage when you read? So for example, football. Can you find the word football, or do you think football will be appear in the text about the engineer? Maybe not, right? Construction, yes. Bridge, yes. Hairdressing, it's not possible. Engineer, yes. How about dictionary? No. Industrial, yes. Project, yes. And railway, yes. So by looking at only the title of the reading, you get some idea and you know a lot about the reading passage. That is why skimming is important. You don't need to read through all of the passage to get the information. Just look at the picture, look at the titles, and read a few lines in the passage. You will understand a lot about the passage by using the skimming skill. So the techniques to do the skimming is very easy. You skim a reading passage using only word like noun, noun phrase, and verb. These are the words that give you meaning. So you don't need to read everything. Just look at the sentence and pay close attention to the noun and the verb, because they give you the gist of the passage. You can look at other functions like the article or something, let's say prepositions, when you read a passage more closely. So in the stage of scanning, you should look at all of these words, but for skimming, just pay attention to noun and verbs only. Remember, skimming is a stage in the reading process. Close reading comes later, which means it is the first stage that you don't need to find specific information at all. Just look at it and understand what the passage is about. Alright, so here are another real practice about skimming exercise. So as you can see on my screen right here, it is the reading passage. You have only 20 minutes to do. Okay, here only 20 minutes. You have only 20 minutes to do 14 questions. And the reading passage here, as you can see, is really a long passage, right? It's a little bit long passage, but you only have 20 minutes. When you spend all your 20 minutes reading this, or use a reading skill, skimming and scanning, to answer all these questions. Sure, skimming and scanning come handy when you are doing the reading exercise, which has a lot of paragraph in here. So here, this technique we call heading matching. So heading matching is a little bit difficult for me. When I was a student, I find this one very challenging because you need to use specific skill to locate all this important information. Sadly, at that time, I have no idea what are the reading skill is, so I just spend time reading through the passage again and again, still confusing. But after I learned about skimming and scanning strategy, this exercise is a little bit easy, but still I am nowadays still making some mistake when doing this type of exercise. So no one is perfect. You need to practice more and more to be familiar with all this type of exercise. So when you are asked to use the heading to match the paragraph here, there are techniques in the box that help you. First of all, look at the beginnings. Put a box around any scanning word, such as names or places. 2. Skim the endings. Look for relationship like example or cause and effects. Number 3. Predict the answer by deciding what is likely to go together. Number 4. Eliminate ending which cannot match. Think about collocation and meanings. Number 5. Use the scan word to find the right part of the text and check your answer. So first, you need to look at all of these and try to guess. So guessing skill comes first. For example, we have 7 heading and age information right here that you need to complete or you need to merge. But first of all, just read through it and try to guess. And when you try to guess, look at the function. So for example, number 1, the GNCTU, actually this function as the subject. So it needs a verb. So all of these sentences start with the verb, which means it's okay to complete or to go together with the first one. But you need to go more. So the G and C T U, you need to ask yourself, what is this? So go to the reading passage to understand about this acronym, and you will be able to find some of the important information that go with number ones. So I want here the reading passage like this. There are a lot of exercise related to the reading. But the two basic skills that you need to do is only skimming and scanning to answer all this exercise. So everyone, after you have a look at the exercise, so here are the strategy that I mentioned earlier is to skim only the word like nouns and verb because they are important and they mostly appear in the text here. And the word like article, preposition, all of these words is not really important to get the meanings at all. So everyone, that's it for our first video lesson about skimming and scanning. I hope when you practice a lot of reading exercise, it will be very easy for you to do another advanced level reading exercise. So everyone, that's it for our today lesson for our first session. So enjoy your short break, and when we come back, we will continue our other subjects.